Good morning and welcome to another edition of Lovin Daily. Happy Friday, Paula. How's it going?
I'm happy it's Friday. Alla volja il-weekend ma jfissirx li disclaimer. Noħorġu namlu l-party. Bonġu l-kulħat.
Titinqas xogħol suppost. Just a reminder that this weekend is Mother's Day, guys. So don't forget to. This is your last chance to win. Actually, a number of prizes. We have. They're not showing on the. We have a number of prizes today from the Furious range. Lovin Daily is brought to you by Browns and You, and today. The winner of today's competition will win €75 worth of products from the Furious range, including a beauty sleep night cream, hyaluron sensation hand cream, cleansing mousse, a lot of these products. So all you need to do is do it right now. Tag your mom and tell us why she's the best mom. Tag her in the comments below, and you could be today's winner.
Good luck.
Good luck. Good luck. So we've got the headlines for you today. We had quite a big story yesterday about Maltese ministers and how they spend their money on Facebook, and the opposition leaders asking for them to pay money back that was spent for their private uses. We have 2 new cases of COVID-19 as the active cases fall below 70. We have news on the migration front where a second Captain Morgan ship has been contracted by the government to house migrants from 2 separate rescues. A very tragic story about a 19-year-old postwoman who died on the road yesterday in a really sad accident. And we also heard yesterday about the death of 2 swans in the San Anton Gardens in the presidential palace in Attard, and the controversy that has surrounded that case. We'll talk a bit about that more. So Paula, let's start with the first story.
Mela, l-bira il-Kummissarju tal-Standards George Hisler stabilixxa l-ewwel darba f'pajjiżna standards etiċi ta' kif il-politiċi l-Ministri għandhom jużaw il-Facebook page personali tagħhom u l-Facebook page tal-Ministeru jekk jeżisti wieħed. Il-Kummissarju ħa sample tal-Ministri fejn ra kif qed jużaw il-Facebook pages tagħhom u jidher li l-maġġoranza tagħhom ma kinux qegħdin jużaw ċertu etika meta jibbustjaw jew jipproduċu affarijiet li għandhom x'jaqsmu kemm għall-Ministeru kemm għall-politiku individwali. Biex insemmuha li semmi il-Kommissarju kien hemm kliem ta' tifħira l Bonnici għaliex jidher li kienet juża dak iż-żmien il-paġini tal-edukazzjoni tal-ġustizzja sew, Proset Owen, però ħadd ieħor ħanaq ta' ċanfira. Millum il-qudiem ministri huma mitluba illi jkollhom paġna tal-Ministeru, xogħol tal-Ministeru mħallas fil-Ministeru ikun postjat hemmhekk, affarijiet politiċi tal-kampanja tal-politiku rispettiv tkun dik fuq il-page tal-politiku. Mbagħad ovvjament Adrian Delija li jrid il-Ministri jħallsu lura ma nafxiex kemm kommerx fatta iridhom naħallsu lura xi tip ta' flus il-gvern talli ma kinux qed jużaw il-paġni tal-Ministeri illi ma jeżistux. Jien naħseb huwa pass fid-direzzjoni tajba din min-naħa tal-Kummissarju, x'jiena ma naqbilx li l-Ministru qed jieħu l-video sal-coffee morning jew id-dinner dance whatever bil-riżorsi tal-Ministeru jekk kienet isir hekk nqogħdu nifirħu bihom. Misra linja ċara u jimxu magħhom il-Ministri naraw issa minn ħajabbuża jew minn le. Chris, din hija rebħa naħseb personali għalik.
Rebħa personali in the sense that we filed the complaint to the Standards Commissioner because we felt that there needs to be much more transparency in how government advertising money is spent in general, but particularly with taxpayer money paying for personal campaigns. So it doesn't make any sense that you have that a ministry doesn't have a Facebook page, and so a politician instead is using taxpayer money to build his own page. And then when he stops being a minister, he keeps those followers, but the ministry needs to start from scratch. You know, this just doesn't make sense. And it was quite clear that something needed to change, but it took the Standards Commissioner's report to trigger this change. Now we need to see whether it is actually going to be implemented. Adrian Delia's point is that there could have been great ways for this to have been abused throughout the years, because There's no clear distinction being made between what was paid for by the ministers for their own personal gain and what was paid for the ministry information. As we know, Konrad Mizzi had already been investigated by the Standards Commissioner on similar issues. Used to spend a lot of money on ministry content that was always branded with his name, Konrad Mizzi, and we know as well that the government spends upwards of 1.2 million on Facebook boosts for these sort of things. So it could be a lot of money. Adrian Delia is calling for the money to be given back to the people. I think it makes sense that ministers who misuse public money do give back that money. For that to be determined, though, because you said how much to give, etc., there would have to be a proper audit, and where every single line item is evaluated and to be seen whether that was used by for public purposes or for private purposes. So yeah, I think this is a step in the right direction in terms of transparency, and now we need to see how it will be followed up.
Ma fejn tħol dan proposta ta' Adrian Delia ġifieri mhux għax għandi għalih tax nikkustaħ. Imma din mhijiex standard retroattiva, ġifieri li sar li kien issa millum il-qudiem. Għax ma tistax jingħada ngħid il-ministri qas jistgħu jiffilmjaw u kull min iffilmja fl-aħħar 10 snin kemm ilu Facebook ikollu jħallas lura.
No, I think it's quite basic. I don't think you need to be told as a politician that you shouldn't use taxpayer money to boost your personal profile,
Imma skont xi qed tibboostja x-xogħol tal-Ministeru għax il-page tal-Ministeru ġist ħadd ma jrid jagħmellek like kull m'għandek 2000 like u l-page tiegħek għandek 30,000 like.
Ma ovvjament għandek 30,000 like jekk qed tagħmel il-boost fuq il-page tiegħek mhux fuq il-page tal-Ministeru. So this needs to be looked into. The truth is the Standards Commissioner only took 5 ministers, a sample of 5 out of 25 plus ministers.
Ma nafx xi sample, ma biex
to make it more manageable, but so you can imagine how much content there is to evaluate, and the role of the Standards Commissioner wasn't even to look into receipts, etc. You mentioned Owen Bonici, for example. He's saying that he didn't. He creates this split between the personal and the public, and in fact, it's true. He had a ministry page, but the commissioner didn't go into these accounts and see exactly whether any money was used on one page or the other that shouldn't have been used. So the commissioner's investigation, I think, was a starting point, and now it needs to be seen how much to go, how much deeper to go into this. But as you said, there's also the fact that what happens today onwards, now we need to see at the very least, those standards should be upheld moving forward. Let's move on to the second story. So we had just a quick COVID-19 update from yesterday. 2 new cases, active cases falling down to 68. We've had almost 40,000 tests being carried out now. By now, and we're also now the Charmaine Gaucho was explaining how tests are being carried out to see Malta's antibody situation over there. Paula, tell us a bit about that.
Eżatt, bażikament li jiġri li nies li kellhom il-COVID u għaddilhom qed isirlhom dat test biex jaraw il-ġisem ikunx imjun ġala darba diġà qabdiet il-COVID darba. Biex inkunu nafu jekk il-COVID hijiex tip ta' virus bħal l-influenza, ġifieri taqbek darba darbtejn fis-sena, taqbek is-sena dieħla eċetera, jew jiex bħal chickenpox li once li qabditek tista' tkun bniedem bil-COVID għax mhux ħatarġa' taqbdek. Nisperaw li l-każ huwa t-tieni wieħed għax bekk il-kunċett ta' herd immunity ikun validu allura vera nkunu nistgħu nibdew nersku lejn ħajja normali. Jekk le ser ikollna nitgħallmu ngħixu bil-COVID kif tallimna ngħixu bil-każijiet tal-influenza kull sena. Fingers crossed u ħanaraw ix-xjenza tirrispondinix lil-million jekk mhux billion dollar question. Issa naraw. Aħbar oħra fil-jiem li għaddew nhar l-erba' fil-għaxija grupp dajes ta' immigranti provaw jidħlu fl-ibħra Maltin, ġew salvati ġew żewġ dajes, l-ewwel waħda kellha fuqha 45 ruħ, 39 minnhom kienu irġiel, 3 tfal u 3 nisa tqal. Fuq it-tieni dajsa kien hemm 78 immigrant, 68 minnhom kienu irġiel, 5 nisa u mara tqila. dawn l-immigranti qegħdin jinżammu fuq vapuri ieħor tal-Captain Morgan ħlief in-nisa, it-tfal u l-missirijiet ta' dawn it-tfal li tħallew jidħlu pajjiżna u ħajamlu ġimagħtejn kwarantina. Fejn titħolli f'dan kollu kellna improvement żgħir illi l-Portugal ħennet għalina u għatilna ħatoħdilna 6 immigranti se jkunx biżejjed jew la naħseb il-risposta hija ovvja. Jien naħseb ħan nispiċċaw b'xi flotta sħiħa tal-Captain Morgan barra l-Bħra Maltina jekk ħadd għaddejja din is-storja.
Il-Portugal għandhom il-Papa, imma il-Papa għadu ma So just to recap a bit of that in English. So now we've got a second Captain Morgan boat out there housing migrants who have been rescued by Malta. 2 boats were rescued in Maltese waters yesterday, and a number of pregnant women, their husbands and children have been brought to Malta. So an exception has now been made. I think it's a positive development in terms of Malta's human rights record, at least, you know, in the sense to protect the vulnerable and give at least the most vulnerable people a disembarkation. As we've been seeing, you know, the Everest Bartolo is making a lot of noise at EU level to try and, you know, get some more solidarity. So far, only Portugal has accepted to take in any migrants. Our next story is a very tragic story that happened yesterday. 19-year-old Elenia Briffa from Rendi, a postwoman from Rendi, died on the job. She was driving, she was delivering mail. She's a postwoman delivering mail using a vehicle that's called a Paxter. And this happened in Hull Ormi in Marsa. The vehicle overturned and she died of injuries while she was on the way to hospital. So really sad story over there. Lots of tributes pouring in for Elenia Briffa. And, you know, again, I think it must be said that you know, this person is a frontliner as well, you know, in the sense one of these jobs that people have to keep doing even within the COVID pandemic. So bit of a shout out to all post people out there as well, and really sorry.
Fil-familja tal-Elenia għax xi ħaġa ġifieri dal-aħħar ġimgħatejn ikun tamwiet illi out of the blue u jħalluk xokjat.
And there's the really sad element as well that nowadays even funerals aren't able to be done in the way that they used to be done, you know. So yeah, must be a really hard time for the family.
Niqilbu naqra is-suġġett il-ġnien ta' mal-Palat ta' San Anton spiċċa fil-headlines għal raġunijiet antipatiċi, jidher illi hemm complaints illi l-annimali mhumiex qegħdin jitmawhom. Żewġ swans, ħarbit li kelma swans bil-Malti, jekk hawn tisegwina fit-ma tal-Malti iktar minni jikkommentana, żewġ swans insabu mejta allegatament għaliex mitu bil-ġuħ, din ħolqot kontroversja fejn talab jikkommenta l-President, il-President għallhom koj imma m'għandix naqsam mal-annimali tal-ġnien u bekk ħasel idu għalli hemm suppost kumpanija privata. Il-kumpanija privata għalet li le, mhux vera, l-ġnet jinżamm f'kull situazzjoni tajba, l-annimali qegħdin situazzjoni tajba, l-animal activists mhumiex jaqblu, qegħdin jgħidu li l-annimali qegħdin imutu bil-ġuħ, kull ma tħallew l-ewwel jidħlu wara ammont żgħir ta' ħin biex jippruvaw jitmgħu kollha f'salt, ta' ma kienx possibbli żidu l-ħin, xorta ma kienx biżżejjed, daħlet idaħluhom issa darbtejn kuljum biex jitmgħu l-annimali, imma xaġa tistiru ma jistax ikun meta kollox ikun għaddej sabiħ mitu peċin it-tfal jaraw l-annimali u issa ħabba l-COVID ħallejhom imutu bil-ġuħ. Naħseb hemm bżonn daqsxejn iktar sensittività lejn daw l-annimali msieken u mhux toys biex nilagħbu bihom. X'taħseb, Chris?
Ċinju il-kelma bil-Malti naħseb jew ċinju, ma nafx qasma smajta jien. But yes, where are all the Maltese commentators when you need them? So this is I think the animal activists spoke up yesterday and said, you know, we had been evaluating the situation, but we didn't want to put anyone at risk, so we were holding back. But now the situation has got too bad. You know, 2 swans have died, and then you've got the usual sort of, I think, bureaucracy of no one really taking responsibility for this. I obviously understand the precedent in saying that this is not his role. You know, he cannot be, you know, monitoring every aspect of the garden to make sure, you know, that there are people contracted for this job. The private company that was contracted said inspections were done, was doing things normally, but it hasn't explained the deaths of the 2 swans. So we'll see a bit how this develops and whether anyone is going to actually take responsibility for this garden.
President, jien naħseb li kieku Mary Louise Colero preka ta' President kienet tinżel titbagħhom.
Yeah, fair enough. I think there were a lot of people who said that as well. But on another note, I think we shouldn't end this program without also mentioning Goffy, Adrian Zammit's pet bulldog, whose death was announced yesterday as well. So Adrian Zammit, whoever doesn't know, is this incredible social media phenomenon who gets more viewers than the Prime Minister and Charmaine Gauci combined several times a week. Adrian Zammit is a builder, a real Maltese working class hero, and does these live video streams alongside his amazing a number of beautiful pets, including Goffy, who has now died after 15 years and was battling cancer. Adrian Zammit yesterday gave this very heartwarming tribute to Goffy on a live show yesterday, where he said he's keeping his spirits up. You know, Goffy lived a good life, and he doesn't want to see anyone sad. And he actually even replaced Goffy with this very cute guinea pig, Fonsul Fennec, who he said he brought this new member to the show, first of all, to lighten the mood, and also for all the kids out there who watch him, so that they don't think that Goffy died. And there's a bit of an explanation for, you know, just Goffy got very small and turned into a guinea pig. And must be said as well, Goffy is shortlisted as a nominee for the Lovin Malta Social Media Awards, along with his sidekick Fido. So really sad loss over there. What do you think about Goffy, Paula?
Gara, jien naħseb kulħadd apprezza kif tkellem dwaru, fis-sens mhux ħafna bikju hekk għalli xuqa li xogħlu li daħaq lin-nies allura mhux ħajġilhom jibku. Kull min għandu kelb jista' japprezza kemm hi xi ħaġa naħseb diffiċilissima illi ma tibkix u tibqa' with high spirits f'dan ċirkostanza. Illi gustajtu illi dal-video se jaħlu konferenza tal-aħbarijiet u għal-bidu da bis-serjetà, però considering li dan ir-raġel jaraw iktar milli jaraw il-Prim Ministru Charmaine Gauci, naħseb għandu kull dritt li vera jsejħilha konferenza tal-aħbarijiet għax vera l-aħbar tiegħu hekk tasalant ħafna. Proset kbira tal-high spirit u għalli anke membri parlamentari u ministri.
Min jaf min kienu.
Għandi naħseb idea
Tad distress, good.
So I want to keep him close.
I think he had already contested the local council election, actually. And if he were to do so again, I think he'll be one of the top elected people. So, guys, just a quick update to make sure you tag your mums right now in the comments below, so that you could win an amazing prize worth €75 from the Furious Sea Change range, brought to you by Browns and You. We're giving away today a special prize because this is the last day of our Mother's Day competition. You've got a night cream, a hand cream, a cleaning mousse, you know, €75 worth of these amazing products. All you need to do is tag your mums in the comments below. Tell us why your mom is amazing, and you could be today's winner. So that's it from Paul and myself today. Bit of a longer program than usual. Had a lot of stories to discuss. Keep the conversation going in the comments below. Paula, have a great weekend. Happy Friday.
And have a day weekend full of love.